The scale and dominance of the U.S. military. A comprehensive analysis. The United States military is not only one of the largest armed forces in the world, but also the most technologically advanced and financially resourced. Its global presence and capabilities far exceed those of other nations, making it a cornerstone of international security and geopolitics. But just how massive is the U.S. military, and how does it compare to other global powers? To answer this question, we must examine its size, budget, technological edge, and strategic deployments across land, air, sea, and space. The size of the U.S. military, personnel, and global ranking. The U.S. military boasts approximately 1.3 million active duty personnel, placing it among the top 4 largest militaries globally. While this number is impressive, it is overshadowed by the sheer size of China and India's armed forces, which have active personnel counts of 2.03 million and 1.45 million respectively. However, these two nations have populations exceeding 1.4 billion each, compared to the U.S. population of around 336 million. This disparity highlights a critical point. The U.S. has a significantly higher ratio of military personnel to its total population, indicating a more militarized society. Russia, another major global power, has a similar number of active military personnel to the U.S. However, its military size has fluctuated in recent years due to geopolitical shifts, particularly its strained relations with NATO and its involvement in conflicts such as the war in Ukraine. Despite these fluctuations, Russia remains a formidable military force, though it lacks the financial and technological resources of the U.S. military spending. A budget beyond comparison. What truly sets the U.S. military apart is its unparalleled defense budget. The U.S. accounts for a staggering 40% of the world's total military expenditure, spending more than the next 5 largest military spenders: China, Russia, India, the UK, and Saudi Arabia, combined. In 2024, the U.S. defense budget reached approximately $900 billion, a figure that underscores its commitment to maintaining global military dominance. When compared to other nations in raw dollar terms, the U.S. spends more than the next 10 countries combined. This financial dominance is a reflection of the U.S.'s economic strength, as it allocates only 3.4% of its GDP to defense, ranking 9th globally in defense spending as a percentage of GDP. Historically, this percentage has been much higher. During the peak of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq in 2010, defense spending accounted for 5% of GDP. During the Vietnam War in 1968, it reached nearly 10%, and during the Korean War in the 1950s, it soared to 14%. These figures illustrate the U.S. government's unwavering dedication to maintaining a robust military presence, even as its economy has grown exponentially. The U.S. Armed Forces, a breakdown of its 6 branches. The U.S. military is composed of 6 branches: the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and the Space Force. Each branch plays a unique role in ensuring the nation's security and projecting power globally. 1. The U.S. Army, land dominance and ground operations. The Army is the largest branch, with approximately 450,000 active duty troops. It also includes the Army National Guard and Army Reserve, adding another 518,000 personnel. The Army's primary mission is to achieve and maintain land dominance, supported by a vast arsenal of advanced equipment. One of its most iconic assets is the M1 Abrams tank, a mainstay of U.S. military operations since its debut in the Gulf War in 1991. The Abrams has undergone numerous upgrades, particularly in its electronic systems, making it a formidable force in modern, cybernetic-oriented warfare. In addition to tanks, the Army utilizes a wide range of infantry support vehicles, such as the M2 Bradley and M112 Stryker. These vehicles are designed for versatility, offering protection, firepower, and mobility for ground troops. The Army's ability to deploy globally is further enhanced by its extensive fleet of armored personnel carriers and high-mobility multi-purpose vehicles. The U.S. Air Force. Air superiority and global reach. The Air Force, with roughly 690,000 personnel, operates over 5,200 aircraft, including 1,500 fighter jets. Its fleet includes advanced multi-role aircraft like the F-16C, F-15E, F-22 Raptor, and F-35 Lightning II. The F-22 in particular is renowned for its stealth capabilities, agility, and advanced avionics, making it superior to comparable jets like China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57. The Air Force's transport capabilities are equally impressive, with 677 transport jets and 213 helicopters enabling rapid deployment of troops and equipment worldwide. The U.S. military's total helicopter arsenal exceeds 5,700, the largest in the world, providing unmatched aerial support for ground operations. The U.S. Navy, power projection across the seas. The Navy, with nearly 335,000 active personnel, is the second largest branch and the most powerful naval force globally. Its fleet includes 11 aircraft carriers, 9 helicopter carriers, 75 destroyers, 23 corvettes, and 64 submarines. The U.S. Navy's ability to operate in any ocean and project force onto coastal regions is unparalleled. The Navy's aircraft carriers, particularly the Gerald R. Ford class, represent the pinnacle of naval engineering. These carriers feature electromagnetic aircraft launch systems, EMALS, and advanced arresting gear, allowing for faster and more efficient flight operations. With 2 nuclear reactors, these carriers can remain at sea indefinitely, provided they are resupplied. The U.S. Marine Corps, Expeditionary and Littoral Combat. The Marine Corps, with 180,000 active personnel, serves as the military's primary expeditionary force. Historically focused on amphibious operations, the Corps is undergoing a transformation to adapt to modern warfare. This includes a shift toward precision strike capabilities and the discontinuation of heavy armor like the M1 Abrams tank. The Marines are also adopting new systems, such as the Mobile Long-Range Precision Strike Missile, MLRPSM, designed to target enemy ships from land. This capability is particularly relevant in the context of potential conflicts with China, where the Marines could play a critical role in denying access to key maritime regions. 5. The U.S. Coast Guard, Maritime Security and Law Enforcement. Though smaller than the other branches, the Coast Guard plays a vital role in maritime security, law enforcement, and disaster response. Its responsibilities include protecting U.S. waters, intercepting drug traffickers, and assisting in search and rescue operations. 6. The U.S. Space Force, Dominance in the Final Frontier. Established in 2019, the Space Force is the newest branch of the U.S. military. Its mission is to protect U.S. satellites and ensure dominance in space, a critical domain for modern warfare. The Space Force operates approximately 250 military satellites, half of the world's total, providing vital reconnaissance and communication capabilities. One of its key assets is the Boeing X-37B spaceplane, an unmanned vehicle capable of delivering payloads into orbit and returning to Earth. This technology ensures the U.S. maintains a strategic advantage in space, particularly as other nations, such as China and Russia, expand their own space programs. Challenges and future outlook. Despite its overwhelming strength, the U.S. military faces several challenges. Recruitment has declined significantly, with the number of new recruits dropping by nearly 40% since 1987. This trend is partly due to a lack of interest among younger generations, with less than 10% of individuals aged 16 to 21 expressing a desire to serve. To address this, the military is investing in advanced technologies such as drones and unmanned systems to reduce reliance on human personnel. Additionally, the U.S. military is adapting to evolving global threats, particularly from China and Russia. The focus on modernization, precision strike capabilities, and space dominance reflects a strategic shift toward maintaining technological superiority. Conclusion: a military without equal. The U.S. military remains the most advanced and powerful in the world, with unmatched capabilities across land, air, sea, and space. Its financial resources, technological edge, and global presence ensure it will remain a dominant force for decades to come. While challenges such as recruitment and evolving threats persist, the U.S. military's ability to adapt and innovate ensures its continued leadership on the global stage.